Welcome to Python Data Mining. Titanic Survival Analysis, Weeks 1 to 2. Data mining means finding patterns, knowledge, and insight from data. In this hands-on notebook, you will use Python to explore and work with the Titanic dataset. You will learn data cleaning, basic exploration, simple machine learning, and how data mining leads to smarter decisions. Let us begin the journey together. Running the cell now. Let us keep our notebook clean and readable from the start. We add a setting to hide warning messages. We import the warnings module. Import numpy as np. We set the random seed to 42 for reproducibility. We turn off warnings so they do not distract us. Running the cell now. In this initial step, the code sets up a clean and reproducible environment by suppressing warnings and fixing the random seed. Notice there is no visible output because this is preparation work to ensure consistent results and a tidy notebook for the Titanic dataset analysis ahead. This setup is essential for clear, comparable data mining experiments throughout the lesson. Let us load the famous Titanic dataset into Python for our adventure. We are about to use the Titanic passenger data. This dataset is used a lot for learning data mining. We import pandas, a popular package for working with tabular data. We define the web address where the dataset is stored. We load the Titanic data into a structure called a data frame. A data frame is like an Excel table in memory. We print the shape to see how many rows and columns the data has. We print the first 3 rows for a quick look at the data. Running the cell now. The output shows the Titanic dataset with 891 rows and 12 columns, confirming successful data loading. Notice the first 3 passengers' details, including survival status, class, age, and fare, which set the stage for exploring how these features relate to survival. This initial overview is key for understanding the dataset structure before diving into deeper analysis. Try printing df.columns below to see all the column names. What columns do we have? Here are the main features in the Titanic dataset. Passenger ID, unique number each passenger. Survived, 1 means survived, 0 means did not. P-class, passenger class, first, second, third. Name, sex, age. SIB-SP, siblings, spouses aboard. Parch, parents, children aboard. Ticket, fare, cabin, embarked. Running the cell now. Now let us check what our data looks like. Are there missing values? What type of data is stored? This is a comment describing the next command, a quick summary of data types and missing values in the data frame. We print the data frame info, which shows data types, non-missing value counts, and missing values per column. Running the cell now. This output shows the structure of our Titanic dataset, highlighting that we have 891 passengers and 12 columns including key features like passenger ID and survived. Notice that some columns, like age and cabin, have missing values, which is important for data cleaning and analysis decisions later. This overview helps us understand what data we have and the types of each feature before diving deeper. Missing data can cause trouble for machine learning. Let us count any missing values in each column. We count the number of missing values in each column of the data frame. This prints the count of missing values for each column, showing where data cleaning is needed. Running the cell now. This output shows the count of missing values in each column of the Titanic dataset, helping us identify data gaps before analysis. Notice that most columns have no missing values, while age, cabin, and embarked have significant gaps, especially a cabin with 687 missing entries. Understanding these missing counts guides us on which columns may need cleaning or special handling in our analysis. Which columns above have the most missing values? Let us handle missing ages. We will use the median, middle value, because it is not affected by extreme numbers. Now we fill missing ages. The median is the value in the middle when sorted. We calculate the median age from all available age values. We fill any missing values in the age column with the median. This lets us keep as much data as possible. Running the cell now. This code fills in missing values in the age column with the median age, ensuring no gaps remain in this key feature. By doing this, we maintain the dataset's integrity for analysis, especially since age is important for predicting survival. Notice there is no visible output because the operation modifies the dataset in place. Great job! Filling missing values is a key first step in data mining. Let us take care of missing values in the Embarked port column using the most common port. The column Embarked tells us where a passenger got on the ship. We find the most frequent port value in Embarked. We fill any missing values in Embarked with this most common port. Running the cell now. This code finds the most common port in the Embarked column and fills any missing values with that port. Although there's no printed output, the key takeaway is that after running this, the dataset no longer has missing entries in Embarked, ensuring consistency for later analysis. This step is crucial because handling missing data appropriately prepares the dataset for accurate modeling and insights. Can you think of why the mode, or most common value, is a safe choice for filling missing values? Some columns have too many missing values. We might have to drop them. We drop the cabin column because it has many missing values. This line removes the cabin column from the data frame. Running the cell now. This code removes the cabin column from the Titanic dataset because it contains too many missing values, which can hinder analysis. Although there's no visible output, this step simplifies the dataset, allowing us to focus on more complete and relevant features like passenger ID and survived for subsequent analysis. Summary statistics help us understand the data quickly. Let us describe the numbers in our dataset. This comment explains that the next line will display summary statistics for numerical columns in the data frame. We print basic statistics for all number columns. This shows the count, mean, minimum, maximum, and a few other values to understand trends. Running the cell now. This summary gives us a quick look at the main numerical features in the Titanic dataset, showing counts, averages, and ranges. Notice that the survived column has a mean of about 0.38, indicating around 38% of passengers survived, and values like age and fare have wide ranges, highlighting variability in the dataset. This output helps us understand the scale and distribution of key features before deeper analysis. Notice any numbers that seem surprising? Let us look at how many survived. This is our target for machine learning. Show the count of passengers who survived versus those who did not. Print the number of survivors and non-survivors using the survived column from the data frame. Running the cell now. This output shows the count of passengers who did not survive, 549, versus those who did survive, 342, the Titanic disaster. It highlights the distribution of the key survived column, helping us understand the balance between the two classes before further analysis. This is important for framing survival as the target variable in the dataset. Is survival balanced or imbalanced in our data? Now we will use a bar plot to see survival counts, split by sex. We want to understand how gender relates to survival. We import the seaborn and matplotlib plotting libraries. We plot survival counts, showing male and female in different colors. Our plot compares the number who survived versus did not for each sex. We use a title so we know what we are seeing. The plot is shown below. Running the cell now. This bar chart shows the count of passengers who survived, 1, and did not survive, 0, separated by sex. Notice that more males did not survive compared to females, highlighting a key trend in survival rates based on gender. This helps us understand the relationship between the survived and sex columns in the Titanic dataset. What patterns do you notice? Try changing sex as p-class in the plot code. Age can impact survival. Let us plot the age distribution and separate by survival. We create a histogram. It shows how ages are spread out, broken down by survived and did not survive. Histplot draws bars for ages, for each group. The plot title tells what we are looking at. The label on the x-axis is age in years. The y-axis shows how many passengers are in each age group. We display the result. Running the cell now. This histogram shows the age distribution of Titanic passengers, separated by survival status, survived versus not. Notice the number of younger passengers and how survival rates vary across age groups, with a key peak around young adults. This helps us understand age as a potential factor influencing survival. Did young children survive more often? Machine learning models need numbers, not text. Let us convert some columns to numbers. Many models only understand numbers. We change a male to 0 and female to 1. For the port of embarkation, S is now 0, C is 1, and Q is 2. This makes the data ready for modeling. Running the cell now. This code transforms the categorical columns sex and embarked into numerical values, preparing the data for machine learning models that require numeric input. Notice how a male and female are replaced with 0 and 1, and the embarkation ports S, C, and Q are encoded as 0, 1, and 2 respectively. This step is crucial to convert key categorical features into a format suitable for analysis and prediction. This step is called encoding categorical variables. Some columns are identifiers or text and do not help prediction. We can remove them. Columns like name and ticket are not helpful for this survival task. Passenger ID is only a row label. We remove all these from our dataset. Running the cell now. The code removes the columns a name, ticket, and passenger ID from the dataset because they are not useful for predicting survival. Notice how this simplifies the data frame by focusing only on potentially relevant features like survived and others. This step helps prepare the data by reducing noise and improving model efficiency. Let us move on to simple machine learning. To teach a model, we need features and a target variable. We are splitting the dataset into input features and the target variable. X is assigned all columns except that survived column, which are our features. Y is assigned that survived column, which is the target variable we want to predict. Running the cell now. Here, we separated the dataset into features X and the target variable Y to prepare for modeling. Notice that X contains all columns except a survived, which is isolated in Y, as this is the label we want to predict. This step is crucial for training models that learn patterns from the features to predict survival outcomes. Try printing x.head and y.head to make sure you understand the split. It is important to test our model on unseen data. Let us split our data into a training set and a test set. The train_test_split tool helps us divide our data. We import this function from scikit-learn, a leading package for machine learning. We split so 70% is for training, 30% for testing. Setting random_state ensures reproducible results. We print the shapes to confirm the split worked correctly. Running the cell now. This output shows the shapes of our training and testing feature sets after splitting the data, 623 rows for training and 268 for testing, each with 7 columns representing our selected features. Notice how the code divides the dataset roughly 70/30ths, which helps us train our model on most data while reserving a portion to evaluate its performance on unseen examples. This step ensures our model can generalize well to new passengers beyond the Titanic dataset. Good job! We are ready for our first model. Let us use logistic regression, an algorithm for binary classification problems, like survived or not. Logistic regression learns the patterns that predict survival. It is a good first model because it is easy to use and explain. We import the Logistic Regression class. We make a new instance of the model. Max_iter allows more steps if needed, and random_state keeps results reproducible. We train the model. It looks for patterns to help guess survival from the training set. Running the cell now. This output confirms that the logistic regression model was successfully created and trained with a maximum of 1,000 iterations and a fixed random state for reproducibility. It shows the model is now ready to be used for predicting survival based on the Titanic dataset features. This step is crucial for moving from data exploration to building a predictive model. Can you think of other problems where binary prediction is useful? For example, will a customer leave or stay? Now we see how well our logistic regression model predicts survival on never-seen passengers. We use our model to predict the chances of survival for the test data. We make predictions on the test set features using the trained model. We import accuracy_score, a metric that reports what percentage was guessed correctly. We calculate accuracy to see the model's performance. We print the score as the percentage of test passengers the model predicted correctly. Running the cell now. This output shows the model's accuracy on the test data, meaning it correctly predicted whether passengers survived or not about 80.6% of the time. This high accuracy indicates the model has learned meaningful patterns from the features like passenger ID and survived, confirming the effectiveness of our predictions. Try changing test_size equals 0.3 to the 0.2 above and see how accuracy changes. Let us try predicting for a single passenger from the test set. We add a comment describing the purpose of this code block. We select the first row from the test dataset as a sample input. We use the model to predict the survival outcome for the sample passenger. We print the predicted survival value as an integer, 0 or 1. Running the cell now. This output shows the model's prediction for a single passenger from the test set, indicating they likely did not survive, 0. This example highlights how we can use our trained model to make individual predictions based on the input features, connecting the data columns to meaningful survival outcomes. It demonstrates the transition from exploring dataset features to applying the model for real-world predictions. Which values matter most for survival? Experiment by changing some sample values. Practice prompt. Try, change the code above to predict the outcome for a passenger of your own design. Feeling curious? Try loading the supermarket sales dataset or COVID-19 global cases and explore their columns just like we did. Running the cell now. Take a breather or keep experimenting. Data mining gets easier with practice. Recap and next steps. Awesome work! You have now done basic data cleaning, exploratory analysis, and built your first predictive model with the Titanic dataset. Next, we will dig deeper into feature engineering, more powerful models, and visualize even more insights. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tutorials and hands-on projects. Ready for the next adventure? Running the cell now. Thank you for learning with us. See you in the next lesson on real-world data mining.